Hi, everybody, and welcome to week 1 of Communication and Society Theories and Applications. This week, we will dive in with a welcome to mass communication theory. How we'll start with that is to first look at how I would like you to approach the readings for Comm 4050. And then we'll do a short mini lecture on this week's readings that should help inform and kind of guide your approach as you do the readings this week. So first, I'd like you to let go of understanding every word that you read. Instead, I would like you to look for themes and main ideas in the readings. I would like you to look for indicators of worldview, point of view, ideological and philosophical underpinnings. I'd also like you to look unfamiliar words up. Use unfamiliar words as learning opportunities. Please don't be afraid of, annoyed by, or impatient with some of the older works we might read this quarter. And try to grapple with the thoughts and ideas that are presented in those works, especially the older works that might seem more challenging. Ask yourself what resonates with you in the readings and why. What doesn't resonate with you and why? Finally, I would love for you to bring an open-minded, expansive, and accepting mindset to the readings, as well as to the discussion questions and other assignments that you'll have this quarter. So this week's readings from Barron and Davis's Mass Communication Theory, Foundations, Ferment, and Future begins by asking a series of really compelling questions about Facebook. They ask, how do you use Facebook? What impact does it have on your life? How do you view the company that provides you with Facebook? Do you trust that company not to misuse the information you share on Facebook? As you'll see this week and throughout the quarter, these are the sorts of compelling questions that mass communication theory seeks to answer. So if you see value in asking them, you should enjoy this class. As we'll see, however, studying mass communication and its relationship with society is challenging. As you'll read this week, Barron and Davis introduce several of these challenges. They point out that it's difficult to apply the scientific method to communication and media studies. It's also difficult to measure human behavior. Human behavior is complex, they note. They also note that the effects on human behavior and thoughts take place slowly and over time. They note that causality is difficult to attribute clearly and definitively. Human beings are complex. We think, we feel, we're goal-oriented, and we're self-reflexive. So studies on communication and the relationship between people and their use of the media are therefore fairly challenging. But the questions are worth asking, despite the challenges this kind of work presents. As Barron and Davis write on page 12, why do we need experts telling us about ourselves or explaining to us why we do things? We're not so influenced by the media, we say. But ironically, most of us are convinced that other people are much more likely to be influenced by the media. So therefore, we dive into theory. Theory helps us explore these questions. So what is theory? Theory is not objective. As Barron and Davis note from Miller, different schools of thought will define theory in different ways depending on the needs of the theorist and on the beliefs about the social world and the nature of knowledge. Theory is therefore contextual. It's situated in a historical moment, and it's imbued with meaning based on human need. So you can think of that meaning as based on the human needs of the very human theorists or people who are studying the media. We'll look at different theories, but we'll also need to examine these contextual factors to understand each theory's role, its impact, its importance, its strengths, and its weaknesses. Barron and Davis describe 4 main categories of mass communication theory: post-positivist, cultural, critical, and normative. I invite you to carefully read Chapter 1 to get an overview of each of these. We'll also examine them throughout this quarter. We will focus on cultural and critical theories, however. The focus on these is because of their relative import to the study of mass communication and the media, but also because their goal is to understand how humans behave in the social world rather than to change or control human behavior as post-positivist and normative theories attempt to do. So in week 3, we'll do an overview of critical and cultural theories. In week 4, we'll look at the Frankfurt School, which is critical theory. Week 5, we'll look at British cultural studies, which is a type of cultural theory. And in week 6, we'll look at political economy, which is another kind of critical theory. Then later in the quarter, we'll go into some of the more normative and post-positive, or just the normative ones. We'll start off with post-positive. On pages 20 to 26, Barron and Davis provide a narrative of the evolution of mass communication theory over time. We'll spend the rest of the quarter exploring this evolution, and we'll do it chronologically. So for now, please use this opportunity to get a sense of the trajectory of theory development and how it overlaps with different historical periods and different social, cultural, economic, and political factors. In the end, this class argues, alongside Barron and Davis, that we are responsible for making media work and for their influences on us. The media don't happen to us. Instead, we choose to engage with the media. And at the same time, the media aren't monolithic. There are probably as many sources of news and mediated entertainment in the world as there are people in this country. They don't all do or say the same thing. It's up to us to select, engage with, and do what we want with the media. The important thing is to remember that we're responsible. So that's it for this week. For this week's mini lecture, I look forward to our discussion on this week's readings. Thanks so much.